Good evening, John Augustine back again. The Catholic conference that I was at in Lucan, County Dublin, on Saturday, the 23rd of September, just gone out there a week or so ago, 2 weeks maybe. And I was very well attended, full house and great speakers. And the first one was Pat Kenny, a lecturer, not the Pat Kenny, the broadcaster, another man. And funny enough, I heard him one time on EWTN. He was interviewed by Father Mitch Pacwa on the Thursday about his support for Father Willie Doyle, a Jesuit that was very enlisted in the First World War to help the Catholics that were in that. There was quite a number. And I think it was at the Battle of the Somme, which was a terrible affair. And there's a picture of him. Can you recognize? He's an officer, and he has 2 stars. So the chaplain must have been equivalent to a captain, because I was in a thing called the FCA Forest Custom Archwood, the Auxiliary Defence Force, and I just went away every summer for a fortnight to different camps. Finner Camp, which is between Bundoran and Ballyshannon. And when I was there for a fortnight, you got £13 odd, which is big money at times. And then the following year, I think we were in, for the fortnight, we were in Galway. And I knew a fellow there that was a cadet in the army. He was a nephew of General John McKeown that fought in the Civil War. He was from Bannalee in County Longford. There's a statue to him there. Arbors was in that little village. And so when I was in the FCA first, another 13 odd quid. And we were in, we used to go for a stroll there when we were finished. We were up at Cockcrow, of course, and Martian and Fern and this, that, and the other, and throwing a few hand grenades as well. So we got the whole training in case that we had to be called up for an emergency. So we were taking our lives in our hand when you think about it. But anyway, another friends were in it as well. And funny enough, when I was in Finner Camp in Bundoran, a friend from Boyle invited me to his aunt's place up in County Donegal, a place called Inver. And from Ballyshannon, we went on what they call the narrow gauge railway. Oh, so a nice affair. And rattling along what they call the narrow gauge, and there people along the thing wanted to stop it and put up a flag. And they stopped in the middle of nowhere. And we went up to Donegal town, and then I don't know what way we got out to Inver, maybe to meet us at the train, because he had not living in Inver, and we spent a nice weekend there. So that was it. But many was I'm talking about Father Willie Doyle. There he is. And he was killed in 1917 after going to the rescue of an injured soldier in no man's land between the Germans and the thing. And that was the time that had a ceasefire one Christmas Day and sung hymns, which are often referred to in some ballads or something. But he was killed, and so was another officer that was with him, 3 of them. And I don't think his body was discovered because these things happen, but he would have been, he could have gone away from there because he could have gone, but he stayed. So he was, he's gone on for sainthood. And this man, Pat Kenny, he's a professor or lecturer in a college, university. And there he is, Father Willie Doyle. He was from Dalkey, from a well-to-do family. And I think he had another brother, a priest as well, a Jesuit. And he wanted to be a diocesan priest. but I don't know what encouraged him to be a Jesuit. But that's the story there. So about the that business of the wait and see now. Where's the book? Here it is. We have the book. The book at the first part. You know something? You'd be surprised. Anyway, there was a great talk by Dr. Anne, I think, or Mary McCluskey. She's retired, but she didn't look old. She looked pregnant. She was blondie. I suppose it's died, but she looked a very good speaker. I find that the Catholics in the north of Ireland are very devout and they practice their Catholic faith because they're under persecution there by the other crowd. The ones that want to be British, which they head over and be done with it, especially the DUP. But she made a great speech. And she was on for a good hour more and there was questions. But some of the questions are a bit long-winded. Nearly like a speech. Like I like just ask a question. But I didn't bother because I know a fair bit about the North and the great people that was there. Seamus Mallon and Paddy Devlin and Ivan Cooper and John Hugh McCrory. He should be going on for sainthood for all the good that he did. Yeah. So, but you said like they're under pressure the whole time up there from the other crowd, and now there's no assembly, and the British are inflicting things on that country, and that 6 counties that they don't want. This education, this queer, funny sex education for young children, destroying their innocence. But I think there's an inquiry about it because they have no right to do things like that. The people don't want it. But these are things that happen in that neck of the woods, and they happen here too. We're getting queer things here, and nobody's objection. The bishops and archbishop and all them, they don't seem to be opening their mouth about all this inflicted, and especially in the education field. I think they'd want to open their mouth and speak out. Because if they're not speaking out, who's going to speak out? I know the Christian TV, when it gets going, it'll speak out. I mean, none of this silence of trying to be diplomatic, none of that. We stand the truth and defend the truth. And stop this business of taking crosses out of churches. Or not out of churches, beg your pardon. That wouldn't be surprised if that comes next. They're taking them out of hospitals and changing their names. Our Lady's Hospital in Crumlin, we were children there, and that helps them to recover prior. I took them out, and I think they changed the name of it, but it'll be known as Our Lady's Hospital of Crumlin, as far as I'm concerned, as far as the Christian TV Ireland is concerned. And likewise, St. Vincent's, which is named after St. Vincent de Paul, run by the nuns. That's great work over the years with the hospitals and education and all the rest of it. And they'll get due praise when the Christian TV gets going. It won't be just airbrushed out of it like what this crowd has done. And they'd want to repent. Their souls in grave danger of eternal damnation for what they're at. Can't do things like that. And then exclusion zones for where they're killing the innocent. In these hospitals that were dedicated to saving life. And they give out about the nuns in the past. Look what they're at. 10 times worse. Blaming something that they weren't guilty of at all. On spurious grounds. Anyways, I digress. Anyway, she was talking about things and like the week of that too. And then there was... I mentioned the other speakers, but there was Viscount Christopher Monkton, a good practicing Catholic. And he was saying that newspapers had no tax in Britain so as they could tell the truth, but they've morphed into something that's not telling the truth and supporting all sorts of evil. And free speech now can be cancelled. The woke crowd. if you're there singing some peculiar stuff that only bloody idiots would support. But if you don't support their views, you're the one that's suffering. It's them that suffer, but not you. But he spoke very well, and of course he has scientific, he's a physicist as well. He's scientific knowledge that the climate agenda is a bit OTT, over the top. If it's raining, it's raining, and if the sun is shining, it's shining. We had a lot of rain, and then floods in Libya. But don't forget that terrible deed that they did with the Coptic Christians, beheading them and putting it public on a beach. They wouldn't be converting. They could have saved themselves and converted to be Muslims, but they wouldn't. So there's punishment meted out there. There are terrible floods and a lot of people killed. So I think there's, if you don't do what's right and what's good, there can be consequences. So this is it. So he spoke about a lot of other things, and now they have himself and Anthony Murphy, the editor of Catholic Voice, have a policy now to endeavour to start from primary to secondary and even university, that it will be Catholic. And it'll be for people that respect the Catholic faith and don't want it to be diluted as it is now in Catholic schools. And our bishops don't seem to be standing up for it and demanding, demanding that what this government is trying to inflict on them by way of sex education and all the rest of it, disturbing their innocent minds. They'll find out enough as they grow up, as we all do. We weren't persecuted with that kind of God. And we find out ourselves in due course. As you grow through life, you find out certain things, And so when you're conceived and you're born in the image and likeness of God, male and female. And that's the way it is, and that's the way it should always be. You're biological, the way you were born, but they're trying to interfere with the like of that, and trying to destroy the innocence of children. So these are all things that at the conference that I was at, Dr. McCluskey spoke about, and others, and spoke eloquently. And so we were encouraged to hear it, and certainly we try to do it ourselves in our videos that we do. And then, of course, the Christian TV, we've gotten a nice few donations, thank God and His Blessed Mother, and may they continue, because when it gets going, please God, and all things are possible because it'll be unto the honour and glory of God, but we won't be silenced. We'll question, and we'll stand up for life, from conception to natural death. And we won't be interfering with anybody by way of euthanasia or any of that other nonsense that they inflict on poor people in other countries to believe in nothing. That means you believe in nothing. So faith is a great gift, and when you have it, practice it and share it and have joy in your life. That's what you have. So I leave it at that. I go on for a bit, don't I? So stick to the facts. But then this is it, We just go on. We're not perfect. We're not. No, we're just trying the same as the rest of us. Yeah, but we keep at it. Bye now. Have a nice evening. Relax. Bye now.